I want to welcome everyone to the Joint Veterans Endorsements for Veterans and Politics International, Nevada Democratic Veterans and Military Families Caucus, Nevada Veterans Association, and Armed Forces Chamber. I really want to give a special thanks to our sponsors, Stephanie Phillips, U.S. Senate candidate, also Ava Bravo, Las Vegas Justice of the Peace Department 2 candidate, and Carl Cotarada. Did I get that right this time, Mike? Okay. For sponsoring us. Just real quick, I just want to go over. I just want to go over the rules for to explain the interview process. The panel members will introduce themselves, but we'll just give our name and the organization in which we represent. And then the candidates will each be given 30 seconds to introduce yourselves and just basically just say who you are, what seat you're seeking, and why exactly you want our endorsements. And then at that time, the candidates, I just need you both to remember this is an interview. It's not a debate, so you guys can't interact between each other. If you're asked a question by one of the panel members, please just direct your answers to the panel member. When a panel member asks you a question, you'll get 45 seconds to answer. With 15 seconds left, you will be given the hand by Andre over there. And so we're not going to be rude and interrupt you, but at 15 seconds, you need to wrap it up, or at any point, I will cut you off. In the end, both of you will be given 1 minute for a closing statement. So do both candidates agree with this? Okay. Okay. Well, first off, thank you both very much for coming, and I want to also thank the panel members for their attendance as well. It's very important that we do this so that people understand exactly how elections should work. So I will first start off by just introducing myself. I'm Jim Jonas, Director of Veterans of Politics International, and now I'll turn it over to my colleague.
My name is Kenneth Wegner. I'm retired from the United States Army, and I served in several combat zones.
I'm Rocco Lacey, Senior Officer at Armed Forces Chamber of Commerce and local Vice President of National Montford Point Marine Association. I'm a Marine Corps veteran.
Mike E. Kelly, Chair of the Nevada Democratic Veterans and Military Families Caucus, and I am an Army veteran. Welcome and thank you for coming.
Okay, well, usually this is the way it works. So we'll start with Walter. We'll go to Derek for the introductions, and then we'll just rotate with questions. Derek, we'll start first on one side and then vice versa. So, Walter, please introduce yourself.
Do they have to introduce? How many minutes to introduce?
1 minute each. Walter, go ahead. Sorry.
Good afternoon, you guys. My name is Walter Jones III. I thank you guys for serving our country, and I thank you for the opportunity to come here and meet with you guys to discuss this. I'm a resident of Las Vegas, been here for 60 years. I've been in business here for 28 years. I've been living in the same district for 35 years. I'm running for District 6, 89106, 89030, 89031. Thank you.
Hello, thank you all for having us. First, I want to thank you guys for your service. My name is Derek Rimson, and of course I'm running for Assembly District 6 in the historical west side of Las Vegas. I'm presently a member of the Secretary of State's Advertising or Advisory Committee for Participatory Democracy. Also serve as the chair of the Political Action and Social Justice for NAACP, Religious Advisor for National Action Network, and of course the Religious Advisor for the Nevada Office of Health, Minority, and Equity. So I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. All panel members' questions will be answered by both candidates, by the way. I'm sorry I left that out. So this question will start with Derek, and then Walter will have an opportunity to respond as well, obviously. So Assembly District 6 is kind of unique because after the 2020 census, it got redistricted. I used to live in Assembly District 6, and now I'm in Assembly District 10. Okay. Well, then I'll just keep talking. Okay. This one's out too. Yeah. Anyway, so doesn't matter. I don't care about the mics right now. No. So Assembly District 6 is now Assembly District 10, for which I live in Rancho Manor. My question to both of you in Assembly districts is one of the things that frustrates me is certain areas are broken down by racial demographics. And I just want to know how you two gentlemen will handle just making sure that you represent your entire district, no matter what the race is.
For me, again, it's Nevada State Assembly District, and so of course I'm running concerning my constituents, no matter what race, creed, color, and how we can better Nevada as a state. 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2.
It's the PA out. Your guys' mics are fine.
Okay. Because we're running for a state legislation, it's about the state of Nevada for me, as well as all of the constituents in District 6. And from my understanding, looking at the demographics, you have a mixture now that's a part of. Oh yeah, we got background music. That's good. But we have a mixture, a diverse that's taking place. It's growing in District 6. So I would be doing my best to work for all of the constituents in District 6.
Disconnected. Connected.
Oh, as a state assembly, District 6, first of all, we got to understand the title. It's a state assembly for Nevada. So whatever decisions is being made, it represents the state of Nevada. District 6 it has changed over the years. It goes from a medium income to a low income. So you have to be able to cater to each district that you have. But it also boils down to catering, because whatever decisions you make, it represents the state of Nevada, regardless of what it is. And as the State Assembly District 6, I have to make sure that I'm a great team player, because I have to be able to get along with everyone to make the decisions that's going to affect Nevada.
My turn? There's about,
The mics are on. It's the PA that's out. PA burnout on me. Keep going, guys.
in your district, there seems to be the most people that would have drug problems. You guys obviously know that. And there seems to be the most veterans with drug problems in your district. And obviously, we're not getting any help from the federal government. The veterans in your district have the highest suicide rate in your area. I'm fortunate, I usually have problems, solutions for these problems. I don't know how to make fathers stay with their children. Religion usually is the solution, but without fathers being in the homes, you don't have enough rec centers in your neighborhoods, which usually, there's no basketball late at night, there's no, and sports I know it sounds bad, but sports is usually the answer, because, boys or, we're all guys here, and it's usually the answer. What are your solutions to get our veterans off the streets? And just not veterans, but everybody. It's just I happen to be a veteran, and what's the best way to say this? With the veteran solution, I've seen a lot of kids killed. They seem to have more problems. But then out on the streets, I grew up in Long Beach and Compton, so, I've seen it when I've grown up, and then to come, in my neighborhood, you either went in the military or you went to work for Duke Timber or one of the, it's just the way it was. I happened to go in the military young, and then to see what we've seen, and then I don't have the solutions. Do you guys have any idea how we can? I mean, I know how to end the drug problem. We need to go over to, Central and South America and end it. But they're not gonna let us do that. We all know that. What are your guys' solutions to stop the drugs in your neighborhoods? Do you guys have any plan? I mean, without a big influence of money, which the state of Nevada isn't gonna give you. You guys literally live in you live in the poorest part of town. Do you guys have any solutions how we can help our veterans? Like I said, we just lost another veteran the other day from a drug overdose. What are your, because I don't know how to tell a dad to stay with his son or his daughter.
Well, that's a great question. So what my solution would be, District 6 is in a unique situation. We're right between Clark County, North Las Vegas, and City. So one of the issues is to meet with the City of North Las Vegas, the City of Clark County, City of Las Vegas, because we have the biggest problem of homeless veterans, drug users, but the biggest problem we have is mental health. We have to come up with a solution to help open up more mental health hospitals, to help the veterans, to help the ones that's on drugs. And we also have to have a program where we go back to job training for the youngsters, put in situations where it's a lot of money that Nevada has, but we have to be able to tap into that. If you notice, our governor turned down more bills than any governor we ever had. He only passed 2 bills in the last section. We spent more money on stadiums than we should have been giving it towards homeless, mental health, and education.
I think there could be several solutions. Of course, naturally, economic empowerment is really the way to go. But as you're saying, government is not easy. You have to figure out legislations and put some policies together to kind of encourage economic development or economic empowerment for that. But I believe economic development is one. Of course, we're working now as we're collaborating what we call the Nehemiah Project, where we're collaborating with Nevada partners, as well as we're collaborating with the University of Nevada here in Las Vegas. And we're putting together housing of different status, single housing, as we would say, affordable housing, and not low-income housing, but affordable housing, which also would include transitional housing. In that transitional housing, of course, we would begin to provide housing for military vets. Another concern or a strategy that we're looking at with the homeless problem, because it's tremendously a major homeless problem. Oh, that's time. Okay.
And that was Sisolak, we threw his ass out. I hated him. The thing he did to that veterans thing up there is,
Well, obviously, right now we're having some technical difficulties. I want to just for a second, I just want to let's turn this into more of a conversational style. First off, again, I thank you guys both for running. One of the things I noticed when I was in State Assembly, District 6, and now in 10, just because of redistricting, is that a lot of people didn't pay attention to that area. Now, you're both, when which either one of you get elected to the state assembly, you are actually going to represent the whole state. A lot of people forget about State Assembly District 6 because it is inner city. People don't care about it. How are you going to get someone that represents a northern district, predominantly white, rural, ranchers, farmers, which are all great people too? How are you going to get that fellow constituent to understand the needs of your assembly district? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, he can't. Who does he think he is cutting me in the rest of the team off?
So like I said before, born and raised over there in West Las Vegas, born and raised here in Las Vegas. Yeah, we're in an area that has a lot of problems. It's just not in our area. They got problems in Summerlin. They got problems in Green Valley. They got problems in Aliante. But as a representative of District 6, first of all, you have to know the area. I know the area. I was born and raised over in the area. I have seen from when Cranford Crawford was our senator, state assembly, to Mr. Munford, Wendell P. Williams, Reverend Bennett. So I have seen all these individuals that's being raised in that community. But the thing that I would do for my constituents, I'm going to work hard for my community so they can hold me accountable. In this day of age, and with me owning my own construction company, I can live wherever I decide to live. But I decide to live in 89106, which is an area that I'm familiar with, that I know, and I know the needs that we need in our community, which that's what I'm going to fight for, is the needs in our community.
So I'm not. I'm sorry. I haven't been raised. I haven't been blessed like my opponent to have lived in Las Vegas for 60 plus years. But at 61, I've been able to and fortunate to live in various urban neighborhoods. So even though I'm a new face, it's the same problem. And I've had the opportunity to help to advance the problem and to bring solutions to the problem. I've been a part of affordable housing projects in Detroit, Michigan, urban town, North Philadelphia, as well as South Central Los Angeles and Compton. So I know the urban area. I know how to change the urban area. I know how to cause that urban area to be revitalized.
Welcome, gentlemen. I apologize. You good? No, you good. All right, welcome, gentlemen. I love some of the answers that I'm actually hearing, but this is another question. I happen to live in that district, okay? And I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran entrepreneur, and I'm a veteran that runs a nonprofit. In that area, since I've been staying there a little over, 2 years now, I've seen a lot of empty properties, and there's every veteran that lives in that district don't need a handout. There are some of us there who are educated, some of us there who are trying to do business in the community. However, what I'm starting to see, and I'm not going to mention any names, but we can tell about some things that happen. For instance, like one gentleman had a smaller market and they gave him a grant to get another one more. Okay, he's already a millionaire. But what about the guy like me who's over there housing veterans in that community and assisting veterans? Right? We don't even get a chance to sit at the table to apply for anything of that nature. So what I'm asking is that if you are elected, all that empty property over there that's sitting there dormant, a lot of them don't have any signs on them. What do you feel in your position what you could do to help the vets such as myself who have that spirit that want to take care and open up these mental places or these transitional homes?
Once again, I shared earlier that we have put together a nonprofit 501c3 called the Nehemiah Project. And what our aim is to take all of as many empty properties and parcels. Matter of fact, we had a meeting today to continue to put strategies together to build on those empty properties. Part of that, which would be my suggestion, is sitting down with a group like you, committees of veterans, and seeing what we could do to include you in that particular project, and how we could provide the transitional housing, how we could provide, mental health, those types of things that, most veterans need. And it just happens to be, I'm happened to be schooled by one of the war veterans of the Vietnam War, who happens to be my pastor. So we would sit down with you guys and just think of some more strategies of how we could do.
That's a great question. From being over in that area, I understand what you're saying. We're the ones that's getting the money that don't need the money. One of my things I would make sure of is to make sure that we get the individuals that the projects that they do, other than having everybody. The problem we have, everybody wants to do something, but they're not familiar with what they're doing. And it splits the pie up into too many pieces. So we have to make sure, when you're putting something together like that, first of all, the state assembly, the state senators, and the governor has to come up with a program to help small business to get started. The biggest thing that hurts a lot of us, we think because it's a nonprofit, but if you can't get the money to get started, you're hitting a dead wall. You're hitting a block wall that's grouted. So the biggest thing we need to do when it comes to vacant land is get with the constituents, the city, the county, and the state, which the county supersedes all properties that's vacant, that taxes are owed on. Put together a plan, come up with a solution, and that's why we can come up with the money to help the veterans, the mental health, runaways. Now we got a solution. Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you for coming in. This is a study. First of all, I talk about this because it leads into something else. So 84 years ago, I could not join. A black man could not join the Navy. Well, we could, but we were cooks. We couldn't join the Marine Corps. We couldn't join the Army Air Corps. We have certainly, since President Truman desegregated, there's been changes. But there was just recently a study. It was and I kind of want to say this. Last year, the Army, and I was a former Army officer. The Army had its first black tanker officer to make it to the rank of Major General. First time in history, a black tanker is actually a commanding a division, the largest tank division in the Army. Yesterday, a story came out that kind of further kind of tell the story. And the reason I ask you this is because as legislature, you have a certain amount of oversight over the National Guard. And you have a certain amount of oversight over the Nevada Department of Veteran Services. A study followed up on a study conducted in 2020 that says that 86% of black airmen, and that includes the Air Reserve and the Air National Guard, there's an 86% greater chance that they will face reduction in rank, loss of pay, fines than their white counterparts. NDVS just recently had a study. They had an audit of the homes up north and the homes in the south. The home up north, when it was opened in 2018, Governor Sandoval agreed that it would be privatized because they couldn't afford to hire the staff. They couldn't at that time hire them quickly enough, so they had to use a temporary privatization with the intention that eventually it would become a government-run facility. Since that time, it has not become a government-run facility and has been cited 32 times by the Medicare and Medicaid services for mistakes. Whereas the government-run center in Boulder City, I believe, has about five citations. Additionally, members of the Department of Veteran Services have been complaining for years that there's been racial discrimination within the department, gender discrimination within the department. They have lost employees, and it was from north and south. People had complained to Governor Lombardo. He ignored it, completely ignored their complaints. They sent emails, complained and complained and complained, and nothing got done until finally one assembly member finally went to the governor and complained, and eventually folks went to the media, and the director was fired. My question to you is, these folks went over a year after they complained to the governor. What are you going to do to hold the executive branch accountable? Because clearly there's something wrong. And I understand the legislature is a part-time branch, but there are full-time problems. What are you going to do to hold the executive accountable?
I personally think I am a stickler to believe that conversation is important. I will do everything in my power because I'm very good at crossing aisles in other arenas, bringing people together that normally would not come together. And I think conversation, sitting down at the table, even with the governor and those constituents of ours, to sit down and talk about these issues and these problems, as well as bringing veterans into the conversation as well. And I think that that would be a great strategy and a great start.
Okay, Mr. Jones.
Well, that's a great question, because the thing you do once I become state assembly District 6, the main thing you do is you tackle the biggest problem, and that is a problem, because you have to make sure that you conversate with who's ever over that, because one thing we got to understand, you don't know what committee you'll be on until you get up there. But you still have to be able to tackle the biggest thing first. And the biggest thing first is our homeless veterans, homeless period, mental health, and education.
No, sorry, Ken. We're really tight on time. At this point, I want to thank both candidates for coming. And so we'll start with, which either one of you gentlemen want to start? 1 minute conclusion, why you're the best candidate, give your point of contact, whatever you want to say, you get 1 minute each.
Once again, I appreciate you guys for inviting me out to this this roundtable event. Like I said before, as a resident of Las Vegas for 60 years, I just turned 60. I have a passion for my community. I have a passion for Nevada. My constituents come first. I'm not running for a check, I'm running for a change. So as the candidate for a State Assembly 6, I have really recently have been endorsed by other state assemblies that held this position. And one point I have to make too is they got me on the board as a nonpartisan, but I'm a Democrat. They messed up my situation at DMV when we had to get the driver's license. So I won't be on the ballot till November, but I'm the best candidate for Ward 6, Assembly 6. I know the area, I know the district, I know Las Vegas. Thank you.
Thank you again for inviting us. I deem myself to be the best candidate for District 6 because of my experience. I'm 61. And as I shared with you, I've had the experience of housing and been a part of those types of government projects. I've just recently got endorsed for the primary with the AFL-CIO. And of course, I sit tutored by, again, a war veteran who served in the Vietnam War. And so, of course, all of the concerns and all of the issues that the veterans have, we are being educated and knowledgeable of how we can best serve the veterans in the District 6 as well as in the state of Nevada.
Okay, again, I'm sorry, I'm fighting a cold. I want to thank both the candidates, all the panel members, and then also a special thanks to our sponsors, Stephanie Phillips, U.S. Senate candidate, Ava Bravo, Las Vegas Justice of the Peace, Department 2 candidate, and Carl Catarata, sorry. Mike's going to have to keep reminding me of that all day. Sorry. So at this time, that will conclude our endorsement interview for Nevada State Assembly District Number 6. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.